In 2.5, we start to work with translating English phrases into algebraic expressions. So in other words, we look at sentences and then translate those into an expression or an equation. So some of the things that you will want to know when you're looking at a sentence. So let's say, for example, sentence has, that word in it, less than. That's generally subtraction. What about more than? What do you think? Addition, right? Um, sum, S-U-M. Uh, total, which is what? Addition. What about decreased by? Subtraction. Double. Right. Difference. Hmm? Subtraction. Subtraction. Twice. Multiplication. Okay. Product. Multiplication, right? Times. Okay. So here we have this algebra, this English phrase, a quantity is decreased by 7. And we want to write that into a algebraic expression. So we know the, let's see, okay, quantity. Um, so quantity, a quantity is decreased by 7. We don't know what the quantity is. Quantity is this could be, it could be a variable. So we don't know what the quantity is. So our most famous variable is what? X. So we can let that be X. And actually, let me use another color. So X is decreased minus by 7. So it would be X minus 7. That would be our expression. Okay. So quadruple 4, right? So quadruple a quantity. X, right. So this is our expression for that quadruple a quantity. Seven eighths a number. So what the fraction look like? Right, and the number is X. So 7/8 X. Okay, so that would be 7. Well, yeah, if we don't know what the number is, then we just let it be a variable. So in that case, that's why we put the X there. And, same thing with this here, a quantity. We don't know what the quantity is, so we let it be a variable. Six fewer than a number. What would that expression look like? You have to be careful. Let's look at it. 6 fewer than, yeah, it is subtraction, but it's 6 fewer than a number. X minus 6, because it's 6 fewer than that number. So we find the number and we take 6 away from it. Okay, good. A number is decreased by 4, so we can take that part first. A number is decreased by 4. So x minus 4, and then it is tripled. So that means that we're going to have to take that x minus 4, put it in parentheses, and then triple it 3 times. So a number is decreased by 4, and that's going to give us this. And then it is, well, I should say it is tripled. And then it is tripled. So that means that the x minus 4 is going to be tripled. So 3 times that. So we have 4 less than a number double. Hmm? 4 less than a number double. Well, what is the number double? Okay. So the number doubled is 2x. And then it says 4 less than a number double. Minus 4. 4 less than that number. Okay. Mm-hmm. You did x in parentheses x times 2. Okay, yeah, you just have to make sure you simplify that because that becomes 2x. But yeah, you're on the right track. It's just that when you leave your final answer, the coefficient is 2 in that case. Mm-hmm. Up here? Well, it says a number is decreased by 4 and then it is triple. Right. So we're looking at the number decreased by 4. So x is the number decreased by 4. Right. So this is one thing here. So that's why we put parentheses around it. And and then it is triple. Hmm. So with this one here, a number doubled. X is the number and that number is double. So it becomes 2x at that point. And then 4 less than that. Hmm. So we have 2/3 of a value that has been increased by 8. So in other words, that value has been increased by 8. And then it's 2/3 of it. So what is the value? Right, x. So x has been increased by 8. Plus 8. So 2/3 of that now. Hmm? But where is it going to go? But it's saying 2/3 of a value, that value has been increased by 8. So x is the value, right? That value has been increased by 8. So now we need 2/3 of this, of this. So it goes in parentheses. And the 2/3 will go outside like that. 2/3 of a value that has been increased by 8. The value has been increased by 8. And then we're taking 2/3 of that. Well, the reason why we put this in parentheses is because it's talking about the value which is going to be x, since we don't know what it is. That x has been increased by 8. So, um, right, because it is this right here that is 1/3, 2/3 is being taken of that. So 2/3 of, and this word of also gives you a clue because, if you remember when we were working on the percent problems of, that was multiplication. So 2/3 of a value, which is x, that value has been increased by 8, so plus 8. Hmm? Which one? The of? Um, you can, uh, we can say many times multiplication. So in this case, when we look at it, it's talking about 2/3 of that value that has been increased by 8. So we have to group that value first, and then 2/3 of it. So in general, when we're dealing with you know percentages or even fractions like this, when the word of comes after it, that of generally represents multiplication. Actually, let me put So in this problem here, it says the length of a rectangle is 8 feet longer than half of the width. So we want to use a variable and a algebraic expression to describe the length and the width. So let's look at this, by drawing it. The let's see, this is our width and then our length. Let's look at it in that form here. The length of a rectangle is 8 feet longer than half the width. So we're talking about length at that point. The length of a rectangle is 8 feet longer than half the width. So if we're looking at the width, if the width is W, then what's half of W?
Like a fraction, one, yeah, over 2W.
Okay, so we got that part. The length of a rectangle is 8 feet longer than half of the width. We already have this part. Plus 8, right. Okay, good. Good. So, we found our width, our length by 1/2 W plus 8. And W is just itself because we don't know what W is. But we do know that L is 1/2 of W plus 8. All right. Does that make sense? Hmm? Yeah, well, yeah, it could be written as 0.5. But
I'm confused. Okay, so the length of a rectangle is 8 feet. You said it was half, and I'm like, oh, that's 4. But I was completely off. So, when it's like the length of a rectangle is 8 feet longer than half the width, so that's how we have to write it. Because you said half the width, so that's 1/2 W.
right, because we're told that the
And
length
then
of the rectangle is 8 feet longer than half of the width. The width is W, right? So half of the width is 1/2 W, and then 8 feet longer is plus 8. So we're looking at the length in particular for this here.
so does this have anything to do with me needing to know those other rules that we talked about?
Which one?
Um, um,
The formula are you
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about?
the formula.
Well, yeah, because um,
'Cause I just want to make sure, am I in the right area or no? Because I was completely thrown off with this one.
this is not necessarily a formula, but if you had to do something with it, like it said, if there was a second question that said find the area, but you won't have that. Uh, hmm
So, I don't know if it's kind of on the same wavelength as this.
hmm
So what I did visually was on the graph, I cut halfway between on the width X, and then I pulled down on the length. I made a marker to represent X on the length,
Okay,
and then I did plus 8.
so you
So
did
I did
something
again,
like
I just
like that.
top with it.
Tell me again what you did.
No, by the W.
hmm
Okay, right in the middle, made a
Here.
line. Yeah, and then I wrote X on that line because it's the halfway point. And then on L, I did a line going up X plus 8,
You did a line.
going up because I needed a visual.
Okay.
And then I wrote X plus
Well, the only thing is that you're missing the half though.
even though x represents the half. So it wouldn't be, let's say, wx plus 8, because it would be the amount of the width.
Okay, so well,
It's really all the sum dividing it out.
yeah, I think I understand what you're trying to how you're trying to figure it out. Uh,
So the w would represent the number, x is
mhm.
representing the half,
Okay,
and then I'm just,
I see what you're saying. So you would say like xw plus 8,
yeah,
and then x represent the one half represents x. So that's well, if it helps you visualize it that way, but in the end, you're going to have to use the variables that are representing it. In general, the length is represented by the L, and the width is represented by W. So, but I get the way that you're visualizing it. Mhm. All right. All right. Any questions on anything we covered today?